One of the things I find interesting about Manitoulin is the limestone bedrock that underlays the island. Manitoulin is the northern extent of the Niagara Escarpment. As soon as you go 10 or 15 miles north across the water, it turns to hard rock, and it's quite different than limestone. But this is something you might find interesting. We're in a bit of a gully here in one of my pastures, and what you can see there to the left is the limestone bedrock, but it's fissured, so there are cracks all over the place, and it forms a kind of a natural drain in some places. Now we're into the latter half of June here, and normally we don't see what you're seeing now. But we've had a lot of rain. It's been a very growthy sort of June. We had a great big dose of rain last night, and this seasonal watercourse is running. That's not usually the case in June. It runs hard every spring as the snow is melting. The water bubbles out of the ground, a little spot right about here. One of the old timers here on the property built a stone cairn around the spring, and it's actually a good enough water source to water cattle out of, even when it gets very dry. That spring overflows when we get a lot of rain, and it runs down here, and you can see it's disappearing down this rock crack. Over the years, these boulders, field stones, have been put in here because the crack is quite large. Cattle could fall in and hurt themselves. Exactly where the water goes when it goes down here, I'm not sure. I don't know which path it travels, but I do know that if we were to walk, about maybe half a kilometer, 3/4 of a kilometer in that direction, this same water comes up there. Or I think it's the same water. You never can be too sure, but when this runs, that other spot runs. And when this stops, that other spot stops too. So I kind of think it's the same course. But it sure would be interesting to shrink yourself and go down and explore those caves and passages, I think. Don't you? Anyway, just a little glimpse of the pasture here in Manitoulin, and one of the interesting things about our bedrock situation.